Good evening, dear viewers. Hello and welcome to a new edition of Business Insider. I'm your host for tonight, Muhammad Abdurrahim. And tonight we'll be talking about the horizons of economic cooperation between the brotherly nations of Egypt and Sudan. And recently, at the end of October, the Egyptian Sudanese Business Forum held its meetings here in Cairo, discussing a wide range of topics that aim at economic integration between the two brotherly countries and peoples. With us here in the studio is Engineer Omar Hussein, a member of the Sudanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry and a former presidential candidate in Sudan. Very good evening to you, Engineer Hussein. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Allow us, Engineer Hussein, dear viewers, first to watch a report about our main topic for tonight, and then we'll come back and start our discussion. Please stay with us.
The second preparatory workshop for the Egyptian Sudanese Business Forum in its second edition was held on October 26, focusing on the executive mechanisms for the reconstruction and development of Sudan, in addition to the logistic connectivity between Egypt and Sudan in present and future. The workshop was held under the patronage of the Sudanese Embassy in Cairo and the Egyptian Sudanese Company for Development and Multiple Investments, with the participation of a number of officials, experts and businessmen from both countries, along with a group of European business leaders operating in this field. The forum came within the framework of the eternal bonds and unity of purpose and common destiny that unite Sudan and Egypt, and in line with the directives of the leadership of both brotherly countries to enhance economic integration and expand bilateral cooperation pathways in support of regional integration efforts. It also follows the achievements of the first Egyptian Sudanese Business Forum held on November 23, 2024, under the patronage and in the presence of Egypt's Deputy Prime Minister for Industrial Development and Minister of Transport and Industry, Lieutenant General Kamel al-Wazir, with the active participation of several ministers, officials and experts from both countries. A statement issued by the Sudanese Embassy in Cairo and the Egyptian Sudanese Company for Development and Multiple Investments noted that the second edition of the Egyptian Sudanese Business Forum will be held in December this year in Cairo in cooperation with a number of partners, experts, specialists and business leaders from both countries. The statement added that the forum aims to discuss available investment opportunities between the two countries and create new partnership avenues that contribute to boosting economic cooperation by bringing together official leaders, businessmen and investors and experts from Egypt and Sudan. It also seeks to sustain the forum as a strategic platform capable of advancing economic partnership between the two countries to broader horizons. The statement pointed out that the second edition of the forum as a joint economic platform between the two countries presents an excellent opportunity to conduct meaningful dialogue to enhance economic and commercial cooperation through innovative approaches. The forum will be preceded by a selected series of workshops addressing the proposed cooperation fields. The first workshop was held on September 16, 2025, focusing on opportunities and challenges in the food and pharmaceutical manufacturing sectors in a way that serves the interests of both peoples. The statement further noted that activities will contribute with a third workshop next month, focusing on cooperation in the banking sector between Egypt and Sudan. The three preparatory workshops will culminate in the second Egyptian Sudanese Businessmen scheduled for early December 2025 under the patronage of Sudan's Prime Minister Dr. Kamel Idris, and in his presence along with a large number of ministers and officials from both countries. All recommendations from the three preparatory workshops will be submitted to the ministers and officials in both governments to be translated into practical opportunities on the ground, supporting greater economic cooperation between Egypt and Sudan. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has recently met with his Sudanese counterpart, Kamel Tayyib Idris, on the sidelines of the 80th General Assembly at the UN headquarters in New York, where they discussed reconstruction, stability and strengthening bilateral relations. During the meeting, Premier Madbouli Bouli affirmed Egypt's support for Sudan's state institutions, especially the armed forces, and its efforts to preserve unity, protect resources, and ease the suffering of Sudanese citizens affected by the ongoing conflict. He also stated that Egypt is ready to engage with state bodies and private companies in Sudan's reconstruction with a focus on key sectors such as electricity, water, health, and education.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Many thanks to Abir, Hussein, and Rasha Abdel Hamid for this report. And we're back here with engineer Omar, Hussein. We're talking about the Egyptian-Sudanese Business Forum and the potential for integration between the economies of Egypt and Sudan. And as you heard in the report, the subject of the latest Business Forum was executive mechanisms for reconstruction and logistical integration between Egypt and Sudan. Engineer Hussein, allow me first, before we talk about this forum, to update us on the situation now in Al-Fashir and in Sudan at large.
Okay, thank you. Actually, now the situation in Sudan, the war in Sudan, is going into a very critical point, because now, as we all know from the news, that the Al-Fashir specifically have fallen in the hand of RSF, and the Sudanese army have moved out of it. The problem is the people in the Fashir is facing a very critical situations, because these people, the militia, as you know, when they entered into the Fashir, they was closing all the humanitarian aid, not allowing not allowing any food, not allowing any medicals, or anything to go inside to the Fashir. The people there was suffering a lot, and after they go inside the Fashir, they do like a genocide. They killed, almost killed a lot of people in Fashir. They don't differentiate between elder, children, women, or everything. They are killing them with a very cold blood. And unfortunately, the situation there is very bad. And now I think the world have focused and put his eyes, and all the media is concerning and looking for Al-Fashir and the people of the Fashir, what they are suffering from.
Is that the only place in Sudan where there is such a humanitarian catastrophe or a genocide has been committed, or are there other areas across Sudan where the RSF Rapid Support Forces militias have also committed war crimes and are still controlling?
Actually, the war crimes have started during the first day when the RSF have attacked Khartoum, the capital, and they were doing some massive things in Khartoum. That's why the majority of the Sudanese people from Khartoum, they have left. They have moved from Khartoum to another states, and some of them have moved to other countries. Some of them, they came to Egypt and to South Sudan, to Eritrea, to Ethiopia, a lot of countries. And when they go into Khartoum, actually they kill the people, they rape the women, they took the money, they took the cars, they raped the banks, everything they have done. All the criminals was by the RSF. Was documented, and the people and all the country, all the world, they know what is happening there.
Was the genocide that took place in Sudan, and specifically in Fashir in Darfur, overshadowed by the Israeli genocide against Palestinians in Gaza? And now that there is a ceasefire deal in Gaza, albeit shaky or firm, whatever, but there is some sort of relative calm in Gaza after, of course, the historic Sharm el-Sheikh peace deal. Was it overshadowed, and this is why we didn't hear about it for such a long time, but already it was there, that the war crimes committed by the RSF, the humanitarian catastrophe, areas suffering from starvation and so on? Is that the main reason why the world is just now taking notice? Or is the situation now much more grave than it used to be, and that's why we are now aware of it.
This is the question which the Sudanese people are used to ask also all the time, since 2023, at the beginning of the war. At the beginning, the media was concerning, and all the community was looking, international community was concerning about this war, and they are telling that this is a conflict and this is a war between two generals. Actually, it is not. It is like it is a war between the army, the official army of the country, and this RSF, which is like, they say this is like a coup. This is like a coup, military coup. And unfortunately, when the war of Gaza came, the war of Gaza came, so the media transferred to the people of Gaza, because the genocide, what was happening there in Gaza was really massive, massive things. We tried a lot of things that to show to the media and to the international community, please look for Sudan, please give a chance, but no one was taking care of it. The question is, after the peace agreement which is happening in the Sharm el-Sheikh, and this is it added a point to the Egypt and to its president actually, and we hope that one day, very soon, that a peace agreement will come to Sudan, the peace to come to Sudan. And it's not, I'm not saying to come and sit together, but I'm saying the peace to come to Sudan. The problem in the war in Sudan is not only because, as I said before, it's the conflict between two generals, but it's because supported by another countries from outside Sudan. These countries are looking for the gold, looking for the ports, looking for a lot in the minerals in Sudan, and looking for a lot of things. So they are because they have the more power in the
they have more money.
They have more money and they have more power. For example, in the international organizations, when we go to the
UN Security Council.
UN Security Councils, and we say that this country is supporting the RSF and they're doing so and so and so. But unfortunately, they said you don't have evidence. And all the nowadays, after what was happening in Darfur, and they shot a lot of planes have shot down in Niala airport, and a lot of officers from this country were killed, and they bring like soldiers from Colombia and bring like
mercenaries.
Yeah. Now the world start looking for Sudan.
Now, of course, Egypt always talks about the territorial integrity of Sudan, the sovereignty of Sudan. Egypt has said more than once that its own interest is the interest of the Sudanese people themselves. Egypt always supports the official institutions. It backs the Sudanese army, of course. And at the same time, Cairo has said that it believes that there is no military solution to the situation in Sudan, but there should be a political settlement. How do you see the political settlement moving forward? You have the quartet, for instance, and other means. Actually, and talks, of course, in Egypt will be held very soon.
Yeah. Now, during these days, after the peace, have agreement peace in Gaza, and this Mr. Mossad Polis, the advisor to Mr. Trump, President Trump, now he is taking care for the case in Sudan, the war in Sudan, and they are focusing in this war, and they have something like they call the four countries Rubaiya. It's including Egypt, including Egypt, including Saudi Arabia, America, United States, and Emirates. And this is the main problem. That if you are the problem, how can you predict from me that you are going to make solve the problem for me? What you want to say that since in the whole history before, no war have ended up with win or lose, who is winning or who is losing. And we have to see.
There must be a political settlement.
It has to be a political settlement. The only one who's suffering is the Sudanese citizen. And I think the government, we are supporting our army, we are supporting our people there, everything. But the people are suffering. Now the war is more than 3 years now. People are out of their countries. They are staying out of their countries. their children are not doing the good education. The people living there are suffering inside because there is no health care, there is no schools, there is no electricity, there is no good water. Lot of like cholera, a lot of things is happening in Sudan. Yeah, so
there needs to be an imminent solution,
urgent solution. As let's say the minimum is a ceasefire for a certain time, so people can settle how things is going to happen.
And to ease the humanitarian catastrophe, because there is a humanitarian catastrophe in Sudan. Of course, we couldn't have talked about business or economy before talking about the situation in the brotherly country of Sudan. And of course, we wish peace for Sudan. We wish a political settlement and the easing of the humanitarian catastrophe and the end of the war crimes committed by the RSF. Now, so business. Egypt and Sudan, naturally, I mean, they over the course of history, they share the same destiny. They share integration. It would definitely benefit both countries, and there are many areas of potential cooperation in the field of economy and investment. Let me ask you about the forum itself that was held recently, the executive mechanisms for reconstruction and logistical integration between Egypt and Sudan. Why this forum now? The main parameters of talked about in the forum?
Actually, I think this forum it is essential now and during this time specifically because now Sudan is going out after the war. It have to start like rebuilding, reconstructing what have been destroyed by this war, and doing this it needs to bring the two governments together. And it needs someone to come and to help and to support you and to give you the ideas and to find how to facilitate the things, like rebuilding these things. It's not easy because the damage there is very big, and you don't know. We need like a coordination. We need like a corporate something to evaluate what we have lost there, what is essential first, and what have to be afterward of that things.
So what do we mean exactly by saying logistical integration?
Logistic integration between Egypt and Sudan, this is, we are talking about logistic, definitely it means like logistic in roads, logistics in railways, logistics in river ports. This is the logistic integration because it helps a lot as long as we are looking for the rebuilding, and reconstruction, what is going to be happening in this very soon future. It means the idea, inshallah, Egypt to have a big hand in this reconstruction and rebuilding. So if we facilitate these lines of transportations and transport chains, it will be easy to move the things from, for example, the heavy equipment machinery from here, so like the asphalt from here, like the cement, the steel, all these things. When we move it there, it will be much easier instead of bringing it from other countries. So if we make the good logistics, this will be at the beginning of the things. On the other hand, because we have almost more than, I'm not giving the exact figure, but let's say more than 6 million Sudanese persons living here after the war. These people, they need to go back to Sudan. Now the two governments, the Egyptian and Sudanese governments, they facilitate like a train from Cairo station till Aswan, and this is a free. Every Sudanese, he wants like a voluntary return, something called voluntary return. If you want to go back, you bring your families and then you go there. Free tickets until you go to Aswan. From Aswan, they will take you by buses till Khartoum. And I think this is like if there is no logistics, if there is no good roads, if there is no good way of transportation here, it will be much more difficult for my people to go back to the returning home.
Is Khartoum safe now?
Actually,
well, of course, for all of this to happen, the war has to come to an end.
To the end.
The ceasefire, at least, as you said, at least a ceasefire to ease the humanitarian situation before we can reach a political settlement. So maybe, again, Egypt and the U.S., just like they did in the Gaza peace deal, can do this. And here, Mr. Trump he says he has already stopped, I don't remember if it's 7 or 8 or 9 wars.
Yeah.
So maybe this could be war number 10 that he stopped. Well, we definitely need also the help definitely of Mr. Trump, and maybe we can do it together again, Egypt and the U.S.
Yeah, sure. Because Mr. Trump, he came after this new stage for him in this stage in his presidency. He said he need to take the Nobel Prize for Peace Nobel Prize. Okay, Peace Nobel Prize have been taken by Mr. Sadat a very long time. He's the one who put the peace between Israel and the Arab people, and especially in Egypt. Now we hope that he can solve our problem, and if he can solve the problem, we will support him to take the prize, Nobel Prize. Why not?
Naturally, of course, we hope for the ceasefire in Gaza and to stabilize, and for Gaza's reconstruction to kick off, and for a ceasefire to be reached in Sudan. And for the reconstruction in the brotherly country of Sudan to kick off. So what are the top priorities for reconstruction in Sudan? The top priorities, Engineer Hussein?
The top priority, because we have a lot of things to do in reconstruction, but the top priorities now is in the health sector and in the education sectors and the infrastructure. The health sector, believe it or not, like more than 80% of the hospitals and the health centers have been destroyed totally.
This is almost like Gaza, almost.
Yeah, more than Gaza. And I give you a number. Gaza is almost like 620-something kilometers, while in Khartoum this is like more than 2,000 kilometers square. The population, the point is the population in Gaza is very big, while in Sudan, in Khartoum, the population is very small.
Yeah,
in
you
Gaza,
have the density.
The density of population, in Gaza, the people, they refuse to go out, and I think this was a good thing from the Egyptians, not letting the people to move from Gaza, because...
And from the Palestinians. I mean, the steadfastness of the people of Gaza was one of the major reasons why they
stopped, they have to
stop the Israeli plans.
Exactly. In Sudan, after the war, the majority of my people, they have moved from Khartoum, from Omdurman, from the capital, or from most of the cities like Madani, Jazeera, Sinnar, wherever these RSF go into a city or into a country, they are killing people, they are destroying, they are stealing, they are doing bad things, terrible things to the people there. And it shows when the army is coming, the people are crying and welcome the army, but when the RSF come, these people are running and hiding. This is the point. We come back to the priorities, as I say, the medical sector. More than 80% of the hospital have been destroyed. There is no
education as well.
Education. Now there is no education in Sudan. There is no schools. More than 4,000 schools have been destroyed or out of the surface. In the health sector, in the health sector also we have a problem, like we don't have the vaccines, we don't have the medicines, we don't have the cold stores for the medicines itself. We cannot distribute the medicine, the logistics for distributing the medicine in all the states of the Sudan. So that's why you have a lot of fevers, a lot of the cholera is there, because also they destroy the water stations, water cleaning filtration system.
That's why you mentioned infrastructure here.
And now also the power stations, the electricity. Now the war have moved from man against man with the guns. It moved to the drones, as you know, in the whole world now the drones is coming. And this is the main problem, because they used to shoot the power stations when they send the drones, specifically destroying the infrastructure of the country.
Before proceeding, but I just wanted to ask, what happened? I mean, the Sudanese army was making big victories in the past few months. What caused the setback, and why Darfur specifically, and why Fashir specifically? Because I understand that at least the north and the east and other areas are controlled by the army, but why Fashir, why Darfur, and why the setback?
Actually, Fashir, because, and let's say Darfur, because after the army have moved them, have kicked them out from the capital, from Khartoum, and from the other states like Jazeera and all these states, the base of the RSF is actually in Darfur, and they let a lot like military, like militias there, and they are supporting them, and this is their Trabans is there. So they tried. Al-Fashir was controlled by by the army, and they have the base there, and they have attacked, this RSF have attacked more than 280 attacks through the 1.5 year, and the army was very controlling the situation. But there was no chance for the humanitarian aid to take the food, to take the medicine, to take everything inside. They closed, they was closing it in, and at the end of the day...
That's the war crime that's being talked about now internationally.
Nowadays.
Yeah, the siege and starvation policy. So just like Israel did in Gaza, the RSF is doing now in Fish.
Yeah, you can't believe that the people in Fashir, for the starvation, they start to eat the food for the animals. No one can believe this. They start to eat the skin for the animals, they put it in the fire, and they start to eat it. No one can believe, and the people, the world community was watching and not doing anything. I don't know. We start
in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Speechless, really, when we hear and see things like this happening at such a time in history, when the world is supposed to be at the top of its, at the peak of its advances.
Yeah.
And modernization, anyway. The reconstruction, will it be just the work of governments, or will the private sector also be asked to play a big role there, in the reconstruction?
Say again, sorry?
In the reconstruction process, is it mainly the role of the government, or more of the role of the private sector?
I think this is a chance for the private sector, because governments are taking action is very low, but the private sector, as long as they have the legal agreements and the financial agreements are well done, are well signed, so they don't have problems. The governments will support, will facilitate in going the process for facilitating the things for the private sector. Private sectors now, they have their capability, they have their machinery, they have their people. They can work without the bureaucratic system, as you know. And the fund, of course, for the reconstruction is, we all know, is not going to come from Sudan, it's not going to come from because we know the situation here, but it's going to come from houses like International Bank, like the Gulf, like EU, like Americans people. These people, they promise, they promise that they are going to fund the reconstruction, and the budget there is the people are taking more than $500 billion. It's
500.
Yeah, it's not a small one.
Now it's a big, because Sudan is a huge country. I mean, it's a very big country.
There is no industry.
Big country area-wise, big country population-wise. A big country in potential as well, but much of it has been brought to the ground.
Yeah, destroyed. The agriculture projects have been destroyed and not having...
I read that only 20% of arable land exists now. I mean, 80% of land designed for agriculture has been destroyed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
80% has been destroyed.
Yeah, they didn't allow to farm it in the last year. So now like will be a serious starvation in the coming year. Yeah. This is a very serious situation.
It is.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking to from Egypt? I mean, your biggest friend, your biggest neighbor, your historical brother, what are you looking for from Egypt, especially in when it comes to the recovery, the economic recovery?
Okay, actually we expect from Egypt that it will open an office there for the reconstruction. Offices there, send the engineers, send the technicals there to do the coordination, to estimate that how much is damage. Already now there is some engineers, some companies there in Sudan that are reconstructing two or three bridges in Khartoum and Khartoum North have been destroyed during the war, and this will facilitate, of course, the transportation and the movement of the people, and
the logistical integration you talked about.
Yeah. If this happening, for example, Egypt have started going there, I think it will be a good idea, because now we all know that, for example, Egypt now has the biggest amount of heavy equipment in the Africa, after the canal, after the big real estate construction here happening in Egypt, and now it's almost satisfied or almost finished. So I think moving this heavy equipment, moving all this equipment and all these engineers and all the stuff through the land lines, through the river ports, through the railways, it will be much within 3-5, let's say maximum 7 days. This equipment will be there, and the people, the Egyptian contractor companies, big construction companies, they have a good reputation for the whole world. That these people, when they say they give a specific time, they will give a specific time. They will handle the project in a certain specific time with international standards. And I think doing this, my idea is like doing a joint, for example, between Sudan, Egypt, and it will be like one body. Sudan is the country which needs the reconstruction. Egypt will be the consultant. Will bring the engineers, will bring the construction companies, equipments and companies, and then we will find those who are going to fund the reconstruction.
The international community.
Yeah, and they trust Egypt definitely when they know that these people are when this country or this company from Egypt, they have the experience. They will give them the fund. They will facilitate and move it more quickly.
And Engineer Hussein, back to the forum itself, what were the, or what do you expect will be the outcome of this forum and the potential success of this forum, the forum that was held recently at the end of October here in Egypt? Executive mechanisms for reconstruction and logistical integration between Egypt and Sudan.
Actually, we expect from the forum, from this forum, the ministers coming out from this forum, that they have to work more harder. They have to facilitate and have to make a track fast,
speed up the process,
the process for doing the infrastructure, for doing the logistics, like building as I said before, like building the river ports in Aswan and in Halfa.
There are already areas in Sudan where reconstruction can start. Is that correct? Areas that are safe from the terrorism of the RSF.
Yeah, sure. As I said, in Khartoum, you have asked before, is Khartoum safe now? I'm saying Khartoum is safe, but the problem now is the drones. No one can control it. We have seen now Russia, even the Russian government, they cannot control the drones coming from Ukrainian. And this is now the
and
new
vice
war.
versa, of course.
Of course, and vice versa, but there is no any militia inside in the capital of Khartoum. This is the only problem. But to go and reconstruction and building and starting building the new hospitals and schools, universities, and building the infrastructure for the water system and electricity, there is no problem. But my concern...
because this will allow people to move to Khartoum. And maybe the people of Fashir as well, or are they still under siege?
People of Fashir is still under siege, but the story with Fashir is different from Khartoum. Fashir now is controlled by the RSF, but we are sure that they are going to get it, the army is going to get it back down, inshallah, in the very soon time, and it will be because there is a lot of stress on, as I said, supporting country, supporting this RSF with the weapons, with the soldiers, with a lot of things.
And Engineer Hussein, what message would you like to send to the international community regarding the situation in Sudan at the moment? The mistakes of the international community in the past, and what do you want from the international community now?
Okay, the international community, my message to the international is that the people in Fashir are humans, and the people in Sudan are humans also, definitely, okay? The blood in Fashir now, the blood is the number, I think that the blood is the number of liters that have irrigated the land, irrigated the seeds of Darfur. People there are killing. This RSF, they don't give care for women, they don't give care for children, they don't give care for elder people. They are doing genocide. The situation there is not a war. It is a genocide against humanity, a genocide against and against history. Genocide against everyone, genocide against the identity of the Sudan.
It's a shame to stay silent or not act. It's a shame. Definitely. Just like it was to be too late for Gaza. I mean, it took 2 years for people to act in Gaza, and now we're entering the third. I mean, it's 2+ years in
now
Sudan.
Almost
2.5 years.
2.5 years, almost coming to the third year now. 4 months, it will be like 3 years.
And the humanitarian catastrophe is similar to the one that was in Gaza.
Yeah, and I was asking what about the UN missions? Why during this time they're trying? They were saying that we are trying to go into Fashir, into Darfur, to support and to give the food and to give the shelters and to give all these things and to stop the genocide. No one was acting. No one was taking actions. From EU, from the European Union.
How many people, Engineer Hussein, live in Fashir?
You know,
approximately.
Darfur, almost the population is half the Sudan now, almost 20 million. In Darfur, the whole Darfur. In El Fashir, it is like 2 million and something. Most of them have left El Fashir, and now I think it's less than 500 living in El Fashir.
And they are the ones under real siege now.
Yeah, real siege. During the last 3 days, the last weekend, and only 3 days, 2,000 were killed. With a very cold blood.
In 3 days?
In 3 days, 2,000 were killed. Some people were staying in the hospital, and they go inside the hospital and they kill them. Yeah, and these people are not working in the military.
Do we have an approximate number for the death toll from the Sudan war, especially the civilian death toll? I'm not sure that I want to hear the answer because I know it's going to be scary. But do you have an approximate number?
I tell you something.
And if it's scary,
you can't believe it. In Gaza, they are saying the total number of dead people
almost 70,000.
70,000.
And of course, there are many more missing.
Let's say 100,000.
Yeah,
okay?
almost.
In Sudan, it is more than 200,000 from both sides and from civilians, from the military, from the RSF, and from the civilians.
So that's the closest approximation.
The closest approximation.
So sad.
Yeah, and no one is knowing anything about them. Only now people have started talking about Sudan. People have started talking about Al Fashir, and the question is, why specifically now? Why you are leaving Sudan, suffering all this time long ago? Yani? Why did you think this is like a war? Let these people die until they finish this?
You know, as you said, I mean, these are not aliens; they are human beings. So, and let's hope that and pray that the talk and the fact that it has been brought now at the top of the agenda of the international community, or seemingly so, that this will cause a quick ceasefire, an imminent ceasefire, an imminent easing of the humanitarian catastrophe. And what message would you like to send to Sudanese people themselves, Engineer Hussein?
Okay, actually, I want to say to my Sudanese people, our nation's future is in our hands. We have suffered unimaginable pain, but we must not lose hope. Let us reject hate and unite it under one flag, under our country, and rebuild our homeland together. Sudan belongs to all of us, and I hope this war will stop very soon. And let's say Allahumma lutfak bil bilad wal ibad. That's all I can say.
I mean, beautiful message. Thank you very much, Engineer Omar Hussein, and we wish all the best to the lovely people of the brotherly nation of Sudan. That was Engineer Omar Hussein, the former presidential candidate in Sudan and the member of the Sudanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It's always a pleasure having you. And we hope that
It's
next
my
time we
honor.
sit together, inshallah,
Inshallah.
war will have been ended,
I hope,
and there will be a real easing of the humanitarian catastrophe in Sudan.
I hope, inshallah, next time we will
And the
do this.
reconstruction will be already.
Will be there, and this interview will be in Sudan, inshallah.
Hopefully.
You will be with us there, inshallah.
Amen.
Ameen, inshallah.
Thank you, Engineer
Thank
Hussein.
you very much for the interview.
And thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Please stay with Nile TV.